Hello, Copilot team. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Happy Saturday. This is another edition of the office hours. For Copilot members, I'm going to go over what we've been working on this past week, as well as answer any questions you might have if you are live. Couple things right off the bat. At the end of the day, I do want to actually talk specifically a little bit more about Spring Rush that's upcoming, the labor market, and a couple other things. But I wanted to first talk about what we've been working on at Copilot. This past week, we've been really trying to restore a lot of the functionality that was broken earlier in January when so many users joined, which I am grateful for. However, it did cause a lot of our third-party integrations to be broken. Everything from email to text messages to webhooks to automations. We don't build stuff like mapping functionality that Google Maps does, and we use Trimble Maps, for example. These are the type of things that a CRM connects together and then creates a unified package of software. And a lot of those things broke when we added so many users at the end of December. That is no excuse, and it is just a matter of now wading through those and prioritization of those. Obviously, emails and text messages was the most important thing, and making sure that we got Twilio back on board and rolling, getting all the verification done for each of our users, as well as now our email servers being moved over, also very important. One of the biggest things right now you can do to ensure that your emails are going to get delivered is making sure that the updated SPF authentication process is followed. If you log into Copilot, it's going to give you a step-by-step process on how to do this. Essentially, February 1st, a lot of these email providers are stepping up their spam filtering, especially Gmail and Hotmail and Outlook. And so right now, I shared the email deliverability scores to the Copilot Facebook group yesterday, or Thursday, I should say. And so typically we range between 91 and 95% deliverability. Our goal is to get that around 98 to 99% by simply over the course of time gaining recognition of our domain in all of these spam filters. Every single week, we are constantly slowly moving up. We started 2 weeks ago when we moved email providers around 75 to 80% deliverability, and we've already moved up to the 90 percentile. And that includes bulk emails. However, whether or not they're delivered also is important that they actually get in the inbox and not the spam filter on the very first email is always the goal. And so, especially estimates and invoices, transactional email. A bulk email is something that is typically seen as more spam related. And that's why we have to have an unsubscribe button on every single one of those emails going out, which we now have in place. And that is, again, to make sure that we were compliant with these regulations that came out February 1st. But as part of this, I wanted to show how this kind of SPF stuff works. Okay. If it doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. But I wanted to try to make it somewhat simple here and show this process. So when you send out an email, it is going to be using the Copilot servers essentially to send out that email through. We use two different providers, SendGrid and Mailgun. We use Mailgun for transactional emails and one-off emails to customers. We use SendGrid which is a subsidiary of Twilio, to send out bulk emails or mass email, mostly marketing emails. Now, what is happening right now is we are recommending, and what a lot of these services are now requiring, is that you have an SPF result in your DNS records that authenticates that you are indeed who you are. This is the reason. A lot of times when someone sends spam emails, a spammer, they are going to send an email that says who they're from, who it's from, and then the reply to is different. It's one way for them to be able to put in the header that it is coming from Google Web Services, when in reality it's coming from some scammer that wants to get your credit card information, and it gets rerouted. And so to avoid that, what they're trying to do is prove and authenticate the fact that you have domain recognition between these different email providers. And so right now, if you log into Copilot, this entire weekend, we are making it where when you log in, it's always going to alert you. It's going to be annoying for the next 48 hours, but we need everyone to do this. This is not just Copilot. This is across all services. And so even if you're watching this and you don't have Copilot, you need to have this done. I was almost going to make a main channel post or video about it, but didn't want to really make it a massive a video for my public channels. But like, please make sure your email domains are verified. Okay. It is literally a 5-minute process. The article that we put on the page, actually, let me see if I can just pull it up real quick. If you go to the help articles in Copilot, down in the bottom right-hand corner, you can also do it from the left-hand side. Let me see here. Oh, yeah. So underneath support tab, go to here. I can just share my screen, share this tab. All right. So go to help articles, and we literally just added it yesterday. So let me just put an email, and it should come up. Da-da-da. By the way, we are adding a lot more help articles right now. Let me see a whole bunch of stuff about email. There it is. Setting up your business email address for use by Copilot CRM. There's a video that walks you through this, as well as this article right here. Okay. Now, this looks long and complicated. I understand. However, it is actually 2 steps. All right. It is simply this, or actually 3 steps. Go to this domain, put in your domain name. It's going to tell you if you have an SPF record or not. If you do have an SPF record, you're going to insert this code. If you do not have if you already have an SPF record, you're going to enter this code. So it's pretty straightforward. Okay. If you have a what's it called? A web provider or a designer that has built your site. Of course, I did not share my page. Seriously. All right, guys. So if you go to the help articles underneath the support tab, you're going to see this email or this article, sorry. And again, it looks long and scary because we put as much information in here as possible. But literally, it is 3 steps. Go to this domain, right? Check your domain and see if you have a SPF record. If you do not, enter this code into your DNS records, which is usually on your GoDaddy or wherever you're hosting your website. And then if you do have one, here's the changes you want to make. So it's really, really straightforward. However, send this to your web designer. They will literally do this in 5 minutes or less. Again, this is not just for Copilot. This is across the board. If you are using any CRM that is going to be sending out emails from their server using your business name with a reply to address being different than what theirs is, which is what we have. So that is that. Please make note of that. You will be annoyed for the next 48 hours. I'm going to make it every time you log into Copilot, it's going to alert you. Please do that. It does take only 5 minutes. If you have massive problems, feel free to book a call with ATC, Air Traffic Control, and they can help you walk through this process. But it is mostly a matter of going into your DNS records of your GoDaddy or domain registrar and copying a piece of code. That's all that's required in order for the registration to happen and your emails to get delivered and get through spam. This is going to get worse over time if you do not do this. So like right now, you're probably getting like a 1 or 2%, maybe 3% undeliverability. This will ramp up, I believe, over the next 60 to 90 days as they actually enforce these rules more and more at Gmail, Yahoo, Hotmail, etc. All right. So this past week, what did we work on? Webhooks for our new email services. I'm very confident that the web services or the email services that we're currently using will scale much, much larger using SendGrid and Mailgun. We're working on multiple iterations on the back end to improve deliverability, including things like if someone marks an email as spam in anyone in Copilot, we're going to mark that person as like a warning so that if anyone ever wants to send them an email, we're going to block them. Because if they're marking one person's email as spam, there's a very good likelihood they're going to mark someone else's email as spam. Not for transactional email, but for marketing emails. And that's the part that we really are trying to get through is when you send out blast emails, they all actually get in the inbox and not in spam. This is a matter of time and getting millions of emails out to customers and the spam filters recognizing our domain as having authority and we don't send out spam. It's also a matter of having things like your SPF records done correctly. And it's also a matter of having not including certain words. If you have words like cash, if you have words like money inside of marketing emails that have an unsubscribe button, there's a really good chance you will never get in the inbox of the customer now. These filters are getting better and better. And so we are going to be having, we're tracking a whole bunch of stuff with this SPF record stuff over the next week. We are going to be putting out another recommendations of writing emails, especially bulk emails, to ensure that you don't get sent to spam. Um, the emails won't even show up in spam if there's certain things that are included, because these filters are getting more and more stringent, I should say, and rightfully so. Most of us are pretty annoyed by the fact that when we open up our email inbox, it's just covered with a whole bunch of marketing emails and spammy type stuff from Norton antivirus and all these other crazy scams. So I'm happy they're doing it. We need to make sure we're getting in. It's our top priority. And that's why we focused the past couple of weeks on getting the new email servers move over. Twilio moved over. The webhooks moved over. That has been the biggest focus for us. And we'll continue even over the next several weeks as we add more infrastructure, like having dedicated IP pools to where we have better deliverability. Um, Now we are moving into a lot of all the other paper cuts inside the system that were caused a few weeks ago. And so I'm very confident that throughout February, we have divided up the team into our bugs team, bug squad, and our feature squad. And the feature squad is currently working on everything we've promised for March in terms of chemicals, applications, stock management, the wait list, digital signatures for estimates being required. All of that will be released of the 1st of March. And right now, in terms of this past week, one thing that we also made sure is fully implemented is that the customer does not need to have a login for a credit card to be put on file. And now it's very simple. There's no toggle for auto pay. If a customer puts a payment method on file, it is therefore enabled for auto pay. And there is no additional toggle. They don't need a login. All of that has been much more streamlined. That took us a little bit of time. We have to do it like kind of piece by piece, just for the sake of compliance. But all of that has been done now, and is much smoother. Parker's Parks and Garden. Oh, I just wanted to say thank you for your video today. That was very encouraging. I appreciate it. My emails have been working great. None have been going to spam. Fantastic. The credit card update was great. Our acceptance rate skyrocketed. Very good. Very good. Fantastic. Cool. Well, I know I'm a little earlier than usual office hours, so there's not a lot of questions, but I did want to say thank you to everyone that has stuck it out with us the past few weeks. I know it's been choppy. I know I've been a little bit quieter in the Facebook group. We've just been literally working every single working hour of the day and night to make sure that these things are turned around. I do feel like I let a lot of people down, but I'm confident we can turn this around, and I can make it up to everyone that has stuck it out with us. As I've mentioned in the past, down the road, we do have plans for video integration similar to what Company Cam does, and being actually inside the product of Copilot, not like an integration with them. And when we do that, that amount of video servicing and storage will require a lot of costs. We will have to make an add-on. I will not forget everyone that has stuck with us through January of 2024 during this time. And so when we come to that period of time, there's a very high likelihood that anyone that has been with us from all of 2023 and this first month of January will probably get that for free as our way of saying thank you. But I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has stuck it out with us. We're trying to get better every single day, and I'm very confident that by March 1st and the spring rush, that we will both have what we have promised in terms of delivery of the features, as well as getting all these little paper cuts that are currently in the system as we are repairing what happened earlier this year. Good morning, Mike. Curious when custom forms will be available. Yeah, so if you look on the roadmap that's on the website, you'll see in Q1 there's like the chemical applications and the wait list, and then forms. So towards the end of Q1, so in March, is when we'll start working on forms. And it will probably be released in the beginning of Q2. But yeah, customized forms, both for the work request form as well as internal forms, is something that we will absolutely be working on. But it will come after chemical applications, the wait list, and digital signatures, all of which we will be delivering the first week of March. So that is the plan. All right, everyone. I really do appreciate everyone's support. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and keep an eye out for some really cool stuff coming up in the next few weeks. We're going to be having our head down throughout February, fixing a lot of these paper cuts and little bugs that are extremely annoying. I know every single one, and we will be then making sure that we are able to deliver on what we have promised for March 1st. Last question here. Are estimate templates on for March 1st? Estimate templates are not on for March 1st. No. All right, everyone. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll stay in touch. Take care.